Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at another Tier 1 deck, steelsong. Not a lot has changed since the first chapter, but I think it's important to do a quick deck review and see what upgrades this deck got. So taking a look here, the deck costs about $550. In terms of inkable, it does have 16 non-inkable cards, which is about the going rate and was expected. Obviously for steelsong, you have a much lower curve than the blue-red deck we looked at last week. Taking a look at some cards that may have come in. First off, we have For Cinderella. This is a Singer 3, which is pretty good. We also have the classic Stitch. We've gone new The Queen, which pairs very well with the bigger Queen. So this bigger Queen here, taking a look at it, it has Shift 2, meaning this can come down on turn 2 after you play your turn 1 Queen, which is excellent. And whenever this character quests, opposing character gets -4 power and another character gets +4 power of yours. And so you can pair this very well with the Simba. So the idea is you go turn 1 Queen, turn 2 with the Queen. It's a big body. Even if they have a 2/2 to swing back, it's obviously going to survive. You get 2 lore off the swing, hasted. Um, and then you play the character Simba. You can come down and do Bodyguard and Protect. And then even if they have some characters of their own, the best thing is that after you quest with the Queen, you give Simba the +4 power, and then you make whatever creature they played the -4 power. So ideally, you can start either protecting very well with Simba and just questing if they don't have a creature tapped, or you can actually just challenge in with Simba and getting extra lore off the Queen, which is fantastic. We also got Cinderella Knight in Training, pretty standard here. She is a shift target, as well as she helps filter your deck. When you play her, you get to draw a card and then discard a card. And obviously we play her with Big Cinderella. And then obviously we play her with Big Cinderella, who is just a beast. It's often very hard to get to 7 inkable in steelsong, but getting to 5 inkable isn't unrealistic. As you get a big 5/5 body that's questing for 3 lore, and oftentimes this just pushes you over the edge to get the win. Has resist 2, so very hard to deal with. And then whenever you play a song, which this deck is full of, um, this character can challenge one of the characters they have if you need to get rid of something. Obviously, with any steelsong deck, we kind of have our core. We've got Ariel, who digs for songs and sings very well. We got Rapunzel, that if you get some of this damage on your Simba, or if you get some damage on your Queen or Stitch, you can heal and draw cards. You have Stitch as a draw engine as well, and you also have Stitch Surfer as a draw engine as well. And the most important thing, all 3 of our draw engines actually are questing for 2 or 3 lore each. So not only are they drawing us cards, they're putting pressure on the table. We've already spoken about Cinderella. It's an excellent card here. Looking at our songs here, we do have Be Our Guest that lets us dig for more creatures. Most importantly, Cinderella can sing it, as can Simba, as can the other Cinderella. It should be noted as well is Cinderella, our 7-drop here, can also be shifted onto our 1-drop, which is quite good. We also have Zero to Hero, which lets us play our character cards out a little quicker. Next, we have Let the Storm Rage On. This is primarily to draw cards, but if they do have a character you want to get rid of, you can deal 2 damage to that character. You also have Grab Your Sword, that if they're getting a little bit of a board presence, you can sweep the board. And finally, you have a Whole New World, which is really the cornerstone to this deck. For those of you who haven't played this deck or didn't get to play it during the first chapter, the idea is you have a bunch of low drops. I mean, 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop, a bunch of 2 and 3 drops. And the idea is you either play these all out as quickly as possible, you shift out the other ones, right? You shift on 2, you shift on 4, you're getting everything out of your hand as quickly as possible. Ideally, you're shifting or you're singing with Ariel to grab a song, and the song you're really looking for is A Whole New World. Oftentimes, you can sing A Whole New World on turn 4, so you play Ariel on turn 3. On turn 4, she's able to sing a song. You tap her or you exert her to use A Whole New World, and you still have your ink available. And this is kind of how you get way ahead. If you're playing some of those more control-y decks, this deck does have a hard matchup, I found, against the blue-red deck that we reviewed last week. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. But if you are against that deck, if you go first and you're able to outrace, obviously do that. However, if you're getting into a bit of a longer game and they're seeming to get some board presence and have done to be prepared or that, the plan would be to try and deck them out. So in that case, really try and stall the board a little bit. Make sure you're not discarding A Whole New World if at all possible, and keep trying to cast that and make them run out of cards. Overall, this deck still remains a tier 1 deck. It is still very strong. It did get some quite impressive upgrades since the first chapter. It does very well in the meta right now. And there we have it. That is it. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you really like this video, please hit subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below. And I'll see everyone soon. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small.